Hi, this is part 2 in the Bags of Tangerines Problems recap. I just wanted to share a video with the examples of diagrams that we saw in class today. So here are two that used basically the same strategy. They just recorded their thinking on their paper a little differently. These people, remember, they added up like 2/5, 2/5, 2/5, 2/5, 2/5. And remember, Layla said that once she found that 5 groups of 2/5 was 2, she just doubled it and got 10 groups, which was 4. We also see 10 groups in this one here where the person did circles of groups instead of an array model. They're both the same. And this is a really effective way to make a diagram for this. This person did a couple things. So they knew that each bag was 2/5, and they knew they needed to get to 4 total. And so they said, well, if one group is 2/5, how many total groups do I need? And then they used their number sense to remember that 2/5 is the same as 4/10. And then they did 4 divided by 4/10 equals 10. So they did a diagram, and then they used their number sense to find the answer, which is totally a great idea. Remember that when you're doing, if you're thinking about, instead of a fraction amount, if you're thinking about it in terms of a decimal, it works. That strategy works great with friendly decimals that terminate or end. So like 4/10, 7/10 or 7/100, 25/100. When you get to something like 1/3 as a decimal is 0.3 repeating. It's really hard to do calculations with repeating decimals. So if you have a repeating decimal, I suggest sticking with the fractions. It actually is a lot more simple. I know people don't like fractions, but once you get used to them, fractions are way easier than repeating decimals, in my opinion. All right, and then the last one, this one it was a little hard for us to decipher at first, but once we understood it, it made a lot of sense. And I really appreciate how this person kind of gave us a code so we understand what this person's thinking. So each box is 1 kilogram. That represents 1 kilogram. And 1 kilogram is split into 5 sections, which represent equal sections, even though they're not technically the same size. They represent equal size sections. So each section represents 1/5 of a kilogram of oranges. And then they used color coding in a really fun way that made it interesting and really easy to read. They said, well, one bag is 2 of these pieces together. So 1 bag, 1 bag, 1 bag, 1 bag. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bags. 10 times 2/5 does equal 4. So this is great. And then the one that I showed you that I'm not actually going to put on this video, I'll just describe it as I did exactly what this person did, only instead of doing my, I made each one like 5 units long on my graph paper, so it made it really easy. But it's exactly the same as what this person did, so there's no reason for me to show you that. I hope that you find that helpful. Yeah, okay. I'm trying. My mouse is dying, you guys. Okay. I don't know how to stop. There we go.